السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. أن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه تسليما كثيرا. After this, خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدى هدى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم المصطفى: إن لله 99 اسما من أحصاها دخل الجنة. وقال الله تعالى ربنا: لله الأسماء الحسنى فادعوه بها. Allah Azza wa Jalla has mentioned in the Quran that Allah, to Him belongs all of the beautiful names. So when you make dua to Allah and you call on Allah, call Him by all of His beautiful names. Ya Abdullah. In an authentic hadith, our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, verily Allah has 99 beautiful names. 99. Whoever memorizes them will go into Jannah. 2 points we want to make about Allah's 99 names, Ummat al-Islam. The first point is Allah has more than 99 names. But there are 99 names, Lillah Rabbina, that if you know them and you memorize them, it is a key to get you into the Jannah. So you have to know as many as possible. In those Qur'ans that they print, and at the back of the Qur'an, they say the 99 names of Allah, or post the 99 names, put that on the side. Some of those are the names of Allah, and some of them are not. We don't know what are those 99 names. He has more than 99. But the more you memorize, the better it is for you. Second thing about that issue is, what is the meaning of having 99 names? Knowing them, memorizing them. They mean 3 things. You have to memorize them. Number 1. Number 2, you have to understand them. Number 3, you have to work by them. So if you know that Allah is Al-Basir, that He sees everything, then you have to act in the way in which you know Allah is looking at you, so don't steal. If you know that Allah Azza wa Jal is As-Sami', then you should be careful because he hears everything about what you say. If you know that Allah is Al-Qawi, Al-Mateen, then you should have no doubt that Allah Azza wa Jal is Ghalib ala Amrihi. Allah is able to help you. Allah is able to destroy the enemies of our community or even able to destroy you. So it's not just memorizing the names like a parrot, but it's memorizing them as many as possible. It's also understanding them, and it is also working by them. From the names of Allah Azza wa Jal is the name Al-Hakim. Al-Hakim. There's not a single reverb in this masjid except that he knows Al-Hakim. It's a common name that reverts take when they become Muslims. Abdul Hakim or just Hakim. The famous basketball player Hakim Olajuwon. May Allah guide us and guide him. Accept it from us, accept it from him. Al-Hakim means the one who is wise. He has hikmah. Hikmah in this sense means that Allah puts everything in its right place. Allah puts everything in its right place. The problems that you have, Allah knew to give you that problem. There's a wisdom behind it. So you can never give up hope. You're not married yet, you lost your job, someone died, you're sick, there's an issue going on with you. Look at what's happening to the Palestinians. That's from the hikmah of Allah. A person with weak iman, he looks at things that are going on in the dunya and it causes them to doubt the existence of Allah. And God, I won't say the existence of God because Allah is not God. It's better for us to get away from that. Even when we're talking to non-Muslims. God is the sun, it's the moon, it's the monkey, it's the cow, it's the man, it's anything that people worship. Allah is not the sun, the moon. The non-Muslims and the Arabs, the non-Arab Muslims of Quraysh, and even today, Christians in the Sham, Jews in the Sham, if you say Allah, they will never think about the sun, the moon. The important thing is, Allah Ta'ala has been disbelieved in because the intellect of the human being, and the person says, how and why would Allah, why would he allow all of this to go on if he's really present? And the person would disbelieve. La. You have to believe that Allah is Al-Hakim. He puts everything in its proper place, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And his hikmah is baligha. Hikmatun balighatun. فَمَا تُغْنِ النُّذَرُ. Allah's hikmah is baligha. Perfect. And that's not the meaning of baligha. The Arab sitting here knows what mubalagha is. I don't know the English word to use. That Allah Ta'ala's hikmah is baligha. We can never comprehend what is in his hikmah from all angles. He knows what he's doing. He is Al-Hakim. So this deen that we're on, this tremendous deen that told us to come to this prayer on Friday, to make the adhan, to say what the mu'adhin said, to do this khutbah, to sit how you're sitting, to dress. All of this is from the deen of Allah, it's from the hikmah of Allah. Ramadan, Ashura, the month of Dhul Hijjah, Hajj, everything is from the wisdom of Allah. The woman's hijab in this heat, the non-Muslim looks at the woman with niqab, looks at the woman with gloves, or looks at the Muslim woman who's wearing proper hijab, not skin-tight, skinny jeans with a khimar on her head, but all of her mahasin are covered up. Why? Because from the descriptions and characteristics of Allah is jealous in a way that befits his majesty. And that means he doesn't want people to come to his maharam. Her husband is also jealous. He doesn't want any person to see the mahasin of his wife. Even if she's not the most beautiful woman on the face of the earth, his wife, his sister, so forth, so on. So that hijab, everything is from the hikmah of Allah. So if a person were to look at Islam from inside Islam, like we're practicing, and we're seeing it from inside, we know how we feel when we fast in the month of Ramadan. We know how we feel when we perform Hajj. We know how we feel when good things happen to us in this dunya. Our iman goes up and we have yaqeen. There's Yawm al-Qiyamah. There is a Rabb. There is a Khaliq. So we see the beauty of Islam and its wisdom from inside. But if a person who was on his fitrah, non-Muslim, looked at al-Islam from outside, if he was truly on a fitrah that was not contaminated, he would also see the haqq of al-Islam because of the hikmah. Al-Islam came, ikhwani wa akhawati ummat al-Islam. Allah sent Islam with the prophets and the messengers. Salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhim ajma'in. And Islam came to protect 5 essentials connected to the lives of Bani Adam. 5 essentials. And you know this by reading all of the Quran, al-istiqra. You know this by knowing the ayat of the Quran and the ahadith. You'll see it. Islam came to preserve, to maintain, to foster, to take care of the religion of the people, non-Muslims included. Allah doesn't want to be worshipped along with someone else. Allah doesn't want his servants to worship someone other than him. And yet the religion of Islam came to preserve their religion. He said in the Quran, La ikraha fid din. You can't compel someone to become a Muslim. You can't force your wife who is from Ahlul Kitab become a Muslim. You can't go into some hotel, an airplane, go into a school, a post office, go into your job and blow people up and say, you're not Muslims, your blood is halal. No. Islam came to safeguard the decision people made to worship what they worship. But it came especially to protect our deen. Al-Islam also came to protect the lives of the people, your blood. Everybody's blood is sacred. Al-Islam also came to protect your intellect, to preserve and maintain and take care of your aql. And Al-Islam came to protect your nasab, your brother, your sister, your father, your uncle, your cousin, your grandmother, grandfather, where you came from. That blood that is going in your body and circulating. When you get cut, it comes out. And there are other people who share that blood with you. Allah came to protect that divine sacred blood. Everybody's lineage, everybody's lineage. And fifthly and finally, Al-Islam came in order to protect your money and your property, your cars that are outside, the clothes that you're wearing, your shoes, all the way down to your shoes. You go into a masjid and there are some criminals who come into the masjid and they steal a pair of person's Jordans. He has a new brand new pair of Jordans, and in the masjid, people steal his sneakers, steal his kicks. That's haram. You can't crash and bump into someone's car and just get in the wind and break camp and roll out. You hit someone's car, that's their property. Muslim or non-Muslim. Those are called the 5 ad-dururiyat. Islam came to protect your religion. How did Islam come to protect your religion? And this is important, especially in 2024, in this Muslim New Year. Allah mentioned to the Muslims back then, all the way to now, radiyallahu anhum wa hafidhukumullah jami'an. لا تنكحوا المشركات حتى يؤمنن ولأمة مؤمنة خير من مشركة ولو أعجبتكم ولا تنكحوا المشركين حتى يؤمنوا ولعبد مؤمن خير من مشرك ولو أعجبكم أولئك يدعون إلى النار والله يدعو إلى الجنة والمغفرة بإذنه. Pay attention to this. Allah told Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to tell those companions and to tell us, you men, do not marry women who are polytheists. Don't marry women who make shirk, Sikhs and Hindus. Don't marry people who have no deen. They don't believe in Allah. Don't marry people who are polytheists. For verily the slave girl, a slave girl, she is better than the polytheist woman, although the polytheist woman may impress you. And you men, do not marry your daughters, your sisters, your women. Don't marry them off to polytheist men. For verily a poor slave, slavery, a poor slave man is better than a man who's a mushrik. Allah said that those disbelievers, they invite you to the hellfire. And Allah invites you to the Jannah. And He invites you to His forgiveness. The Muslim, no matter what he's doing, if he dies on the deen, he's going to Jannah. I can give you some examples of things from the Dhanub and Ma'asi that people would be making inkar. I can say some nasty examples that wouldn't be appropriate up on this minbar. And it would be a fitna if I gave examples. It would be a fitna. And I'm not going to do that. But you use your own mind. Whatever you can think about in this dunya, if a Muslim makes a mistake, not believing what he's doing is halal, Allah is going to forgive him. I'm saying Allah is going to forgive him because that's what the Prophet said. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Provided what he's doing is not known in the deen bid-durura that you can't do something like that, as long as he's not making istihlal of that issue. So therefore, I say to you, fathers, let a man who has no deen, Muslim, come and marry your daughter. One of the quickest ways to send her to the hellfire is marrying her to someone who has no deen. Ali ibn Abi Talib, he said, I'm going to marry my daughter to that one who has deen and taqwa, and you should do the same. If he has taqwa, if he loves her, he'll honor her. If he doesn't love her, he won't oppress her because he has taqwa. He knows the names and the attributes of Allah. Allah's Basir, As-Sami, Al-Qawi, and Mateen, and so forth and so on. Shadidul Intiqam. He knows that. So if he loves her, he'll take care of her. If he doesn't love her, he won't oppress her. Marry that guy who has no deen to your daughter. What about the Muslim has no, what about the kafir? What are those children going to look like? The Prophet told us, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and we are maftunun with this hadith. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم أنا بريء من كل مسلم يقيم بين أثر المشركين. قالوا ولما يا رسول الله؟ قال صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تراءى نارهما. He said, I am free. I have nothing to do with the Muslim who lives with the mushrikeen. He lives in their countries, in their communities, in their neighborhoods. He lives where they are in charge. He said, I'm free of you. I'm free from you. The companion said, why is that, Ya Rasulullah? He said, because their fires do not coexist. So as a community, if this area was all Muslims 100%, everything other than this area is non-Muslim, I'm telling you, we won't be able to coexist. Their fire is going to affect us. Our fire is going to affect them, but because they're the majority, because we don't know the religion, our fire is going to be extinguished. Some of us want good education for our children, and I'm all for that. Send your child to Catholic school. Send your child to seminary school. It has discipline. But every day your daughter, your son goes to school and he stands there and he says, Hail Mary, full of grace, blessed art thou. He says that every day for 4, 5, 6 years. That child will come starting to think Islam is not the truth, and he'll become a Christian. So the point here is, if a person can't practice his religion in a non-Muslim environment, it is wajib for him to get up and roll and to break camp and be poor where he comes from. And some of us are not even poor where we come from. We just prefer this ease. Now, I'm not telling you we have to make hijrah. I'm telling you, you better look seriously at your own self. How's your Islam and the Islam of your children? Our children. The fitin. Islam came to protect everybody's deen. Islam also, Ikhwani, came to protect your lives. From this minbar, I told this community about our blood. And I told you that the Prophet said that our dima tatakafa'u. Our blood is equal. It's equal in its hurma. No one's blood is more important than mine, and no one's blood is lesser in importance than mine. The Arab blood is not more important than the Ajami blood. The one who is the eldest one here, his blood is not better or more important than the newest, youngest person. The revert blood, although when he comes into Islam, al-Islam yajubbu ma kana qablahu. He comes into Islam 3 o'clock last night. He's been in Islam for less than a day. Islam wiped away all of his sins. He's like a brand spanking new baby. But that's one thing. His blood is a different thing. Our blood is equal. Blood in Islam is sacred. Islam came to protect everybody's blood. To the degree and to the point where even the baby, وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ سُئِلَتْ بِأَيِّ ذَنْبٍ قُتِلَتْ. The little baby who's in the stomach, the mother gets an abortion, like in Jahiliyyah. She came out, they buried her alive. Allah said, Yawm al-Qiyamah, that baby is going to be asked, why were you killed? Meaning, anyone who killed that baby is going to be on the school, amam Allah. That's what Quraysh used to do. Out of fear of poverty. لا تقتلوا أولادكم خشية الإملاق نحن نرزقهم وإياكم. Don't kill your babies out of fear. That blood is sacred. So she got pregnant out of wedlock. He got impregnated out of wedlock. We got to kill this baby. We got to kill this baby. That blood is sacred. You made a big mushkila. Killing that baby is a bigger mushkila. Everybody's blood. لا تقتلوا النفس التي حرم الله إلا بالحق. Ya Muslim, don't kill any nafs, any bird, animal, dog, anything, especially the human being. Don't kill anything except by the haqq. I can kill the rat, the mice. I can kill the insects that are overrunning my house. I can do that. But if I can let them go without being harmed, that's better. That's better. Don't spill anyone's blood. And these 5 dururiyat, these 5 essentials, all of the prophets and all of the messengers came with this. It's not just peculiar to our deen. The Yahud and the Nasara, they have this, but they don't practice their religion. Because if they practice their religion, they wouldn't kill those Palestinians, our brothers, those human beings. They wouldn't kill them like that. The 10 commandments that they have, thou shalt not kill. That's in the Torah and the Injil. But there are people who just kalam, people of kalam. Allah mentioned in the Quran, وَكَتَبْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ فِيهَا أَنَّ النَّفْسَ بِالنَّفْسِ وَالْعَيْنَ بِالْعَيْنِ وَالْأَنْفَ بِالْأَنْفِ وَالْأُذُنَ بِالْأُذُنِ وَالسِّنَّ بِالسِّنِّ وَالْجُرُوحِ قِصَاص. We ordained for them in the Torah, in the Injil, all of the prophets before us. We ordained, we wrote down, we made it wajib that if you kill someone, you get killed. You eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, ear for ear, nose for nose. The wounds, the juruh, qisas. You hurt somebody, you get hurt. That's our deen. Islam came to protect and to take care of everybody's blood. And you shouldn't spill blood except what's legislated. You want to get a khitan, akramakumullah, spill the blood. You got a bad tooth, spill the blood. Go to the dentist, no problem. Want to get an operation, spill the blood. As for just hurting people, the Muslim walks on the earth and he knows that Allah, He's the Lord of all of the people. So he can't compromise Allah's property. Al-Islam came, ikhwani, to take care of your intellect. Listen to this. A nafs for nafs, eye for eye, ear for ear, nose for nose, tooth for tooth. All of those are in your head. Why didn't it say hand for a hand, a leg for a leg, a toe for a toe? That's because if you hit anywhere in the head, you can compromise a person's intellect. You punch him in the eye. You punch him in the side of the head. That's why the Prophet told the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, إِذَا قَاتَلَ أَحَدُكُمْ فَلْيَجْتَنِبْ الْوَجْهِ. If any of you have a fight, avoid punching people in the head. Punching people in the face. One of the companions slapped another man in his face. He went to the Nabi. Rasulullah told him and the people, لا تضربوا في الوجوه إن الله خلق آدم على صورته. Do not hit people in the face. Don't hit people in the face. How many times have we seen and we know a person punches someone in the face, especially in the chin, and knocks him out. And then he falls and he hits the ground. One of the reasons you don't hit in the head is because you compromise harming people's intellect. The Nabi came to a group of people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they couldn't read and write. They couldn't read or write. هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة وإن كانوا من قبل لفي ضلال مبين. He came to people who couldn't read and write. couldn't read and write. Only a few people in this masjid, there have maybe been 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Everyone else couldn't read and write. And the ones who could read and write, they were looked at as respectful. Why? Every human being wants to be considered alim. No one wants to yantamil al-jahil. You know, they say, with friends like you, who needs enemies? When you have an ignorant friend, ignorant wife, ignorant child, idiocy, a nincompoop, it's just jahil. It's a problem. The Nabi came to these people and he couldn't read and write. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. First revelation, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaqa. Read, and the people couldn't read. Read was this ayah, this book. This book came to people who couldn't read and write with that first word, Iqra, read, letting the people know, Ya Muslim, don't leave yourself jahil. You don't know your ankle bone from your elbow. You just sit there. You don't know your ankle bone from your elbow. And you're okay with that? That's an aid. That's an ar. The ayat of the Quran puts forth a rhetorical question. It's not looking for an answer, but it's rhetorical. Like saying, is water wet? Does Pinocchio have a wooden nose? It's a rhetorical. The question said, "Qul hal yastawi alladhina ya'lamun wal ladhina la ya'lamun?" Are they equal, those who know and those who don't know? Are they equal, those who know and those who don't know? Are they equal? If anybody says no, that's not the intent behind the ayat. The ayat is telling us we have to learn. And you know that ayat is not just talking about the deen, ikhwani. You see how we have to interrupt the khutbah to come to tell people to move up. Some people still don't move up, but you see how it gets the flow of everything off just because we don't want to listen. I don't know what it is. Wallahi, we gave a khutbah in this masjid telling you the hadith. If one of you takes a ghusl, you cause your wife to take a ghusl. You walk to the masjid. You come as close to the imam as you can get. For every right step, hasana. Every left step, a sayyi'ah taken off. So I ask you, فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ? What is wrong with our community, Masjid As-Sunnah? And it's all of the masajid. Just sit there as if there's a magnet just holding us there. And we always have to interrupt things with this. Al-Islam came, ikhwani, to take the kashaf, the kashf. It makes the thing a, so that you can know what you're talking. And that's why in our religion, listen to this. How did Islam come to protect your intellect? It made it haram. Made it haram for you to drink khamr, for you to smoke weed, for you to smoke crack, to do any mukhaddar, anything that causes your mind to go to sleep. The Prophet mentioned, sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam, al-khamru akbarul kaba'ir wa umul khaba'ith. And in the narration, ummu al-fawahish. Khamr is the biggest sin. And khamr is the mother of all dirty, nasty things. He said if a man drinks khamr, he'll have relationships with his mother, with his khala, and with his amma. Because khamr puts a khimar and it covers up the brain and the intellect. In all of these ways of legislation, Al-Islam came to protect these 5 things. Protect your deen with just a fraction of what I shared with you. It came to protect your life with just a fraction of what I shared with you. It came to protect your intellect. Don't punch people in the head. Don't punch people in the face. Don't compromise your intellect by sitting with philosophical people who will sit with you and start asking you questions. Who created this? You say Allah. Who created that? You say Allah. Who created that? You say Allah. Who created Allah? And lo and behold, after being born and raised as a Muslim, here he comes today and he doesn't believe in Allah because he gave his intellect and he gave his mind to that which caused him to go astray. Number 4, and finally, inshallah, Al-Islam came to protect your lineage. This is important, wallahi. I really have to touch on this because there's something going on in our community and it comes as a result of not having wala wa bara. Al-Islam came to protect your deen. Al-wala wa bara. Islam came, number 4, to protect your nasab, your father, your mother, your aunties, your uncles, your cousins. They call in Arabic silat rahim. Silat rahim. The Arsh is the biggest creation in creation. The Rahim, it is holding on to the Arsh. And it is saying, Man wasalani wasalahu Allah, wa man qat'ani qat'ahu Allah. In our Masjid, there are people who have cut off their mothers, their fathers. The mother died angry with them. The mother's living in need of them. He has nothing to do with his brother and sister. Because he was married to his cousin, he had nothing to do with his aunties. The dunya. We had drama with our, I'm a Muslim. I'm going to cut off my non-Muslim relatives? Nah, man. Silat al-Rahim is something that is sacred in Islam. The Prophet told the people, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Man idda'a ila ghayri abihi, aw intama ila ghayri mawalihi, فَلَعْنَةُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ وَالْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالنَّاسِ أَجْمَعِينَ. Anyone who disconnects himself from his father, he says, that ain't my dad, or disconnects himself from his father, or he disconnects himself from those people who own him, the mawali back then the curse of Allah is upon him, the curse of the angels, and the curse of all of the people. What did I want to mention concerning this? Ya akhi Hassan, yeah, listen. In our religion, we name our children. My son is Shayba ibn Khalifa al-Dhahabi. My daughter is Sudaysa bint Khalifa al-Dhahabi. My daughter gets married to another man. When she gets married to another man, she does not change her name. And she becomes Arwa and take the last name of her husband. You are disconnecting from your father. And you know where that comes from? That comes from the hadith. أنا بريء من كل مسلم يجامع يقيم بين أكثر المشركين. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. I accepted Islam. I had a different name. I went to the people. I said, hey, listen, democracy, I want to change my name. I'm going to make my name Abu Usama Khalifa al-Dhahabi. Nothing says I have to put my father's name in the passport. That's what, you know what the Kufar said? No problem. Change your name. We come here, I don't know. We have to go with the system. We're afraid of what? Democracy. You have the right. Her name is Asma Bintu Abdullah. Whatever his father's father. And when the people during the time of Jahiliyyah, when they used to come, Rasulullah would say, what's your name? And he would have a name Rasulullah didn't like. He would say, change your name. What's your name? She said, Asiya, the disobedient one. Asiya. He said, no, you're Jamila. But if someone's father's name was Abdul Shams, Abdul Kalb, he wouldn't change that name. You're going to be called Yawm al-Qiyamah by your names and the names of your father. So beautify your names. And we say to our wives, to this community, people from Pakistan, Arabs, all of us, stop changing your name once you get married. Keep your father's name. And if you have changed your name to your husband's last name, you should change that. That's wrong. And it's against what the Prophet said. And I remind you of the hadith. Anyone who disconnects from his father like that, may Allah curse him and the angels curse him and all of the people. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ونسأل الله تعالى التوفيق والسداد. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا وطيبا مباركا فيه واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمد عبده ورسوله. Before the Prophet would pray, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would tell the people, straighten out the lines, straighten out the lines. He would tell the people a lot of things. One of the things he said was, "Man wasala saffan wasalahu Allah, wa man qata'a saffan qata'ahu Allah." The Rahim, hanging on to the Arsh. Whoever connects me, may Allah connect him. Whoever disconnects me, may Allah disconnect them. He also said in this hadith, anyone who steps up and fills in the blanks of the row, Allah will connect you. Your children, our children, they give us headaches. We're worried for them. We're scared for them. They don't behave very well. You know one of the ways that you can solve that problem? Making dua to Allah and calling him by his names. One of the practical ways, don't sit there. There's a space in front of you. Rasulullah told you, if you put in that space, then do it. He said in the hadith, listen, 3 men came in while he was talking. One man came in, and without cutting the people's arms and shoulders, he came all the way close. A second man, he stopped and he sat in the back. Another man, he did like this and walked away. He told his companion, should I not tell you about the 3 men? He said one man came in, وَأَقْبَلَ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَأَقْبَلَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ. He came to Allah and Allah came to him. What does that mean? Allah came to him, take care of his affairs, get his paperwork together, get him a job, take care of his health, may help his wife, his daughter to get married, help his baby to get born. Oh, no. And the second man is istahya, fastahya Allah minhu. He was shy of Allah, so Allah was shy of him. Allah is shy in a way that befits his majesty. So he sat. He didn't want people to see him getting up and making a space. He didn't want to know. They're going to think I don't know. I'm too tired. So Allah was shy of him. But then the third one, he turned away and he went away. I ain't got time for this. This kalam that Rasulullah says he has to tell you, I ain't got time for this. And he got in the wind and he rolled out. Which 3 do you think is the best 3? Which 3? The one who came to Allah, brother. The one who came to Allah. So I'm going to end here, but I'm going to ask all of you by Allah. After today, I'm asking you, when you come to this Masjid Ummatul Islam, let us line up. Let us fill up all of the spaces, man. All of the spaces. Because it's better for you. It's better for you. May Allah Azza wa Jalla make us mu'minin haqqa, and may establish our feet firmly, and make us a people of word and deed. Not just the people like the Yahud and the Nasara who say, we believe in Allah, but they're killing the Palestinians. We love the Palestinians. We're so upset, but look how we are. May Allah Ta'ala make it easy for all of us. Aqimus salat, yarhamakumullah.